Hello, welcome back to my channel. So, yesterday we talked about why the title race is done, and I promised last negative video for at least a little while until we lose again against Aston Villa probably, but we're not there yet. Let's try to stay positive today. How do we salvage this season? I'm gonna mostly talk about what we can do in January and the months after that, but before we even get there, let's talk about what we can do immediately, right now. And what I really am hoping for. I'm hoping to finish top 4 at the end of the year. So, by the time January starts, I'm hoping we are top 4. We're getting Aston Villa, Everton, Leicester City. I think Everton and Leicester City we should be able to beat. Which I know it's mental to say right now, but that's not certain. Aston Villa, it's Aston Villa away. I know Aston Villa, it's not as good as they were last season, but I have a lack of trust in this team right now. I'm gonna expect to see Matthijs Nunes back, the left back. I'm actually hoping for it. I'm hoping that we're gonna see, unless Aki is back from injury. If Aki is back, play him of course, but I'm expecting to see Kovacic, De Bruyne, and Grealish in midfield, which is going to be such an improved midfield. With Foden probably coming on as the Bruyne substitute, or playing on the right wing, or Bernardo Silva on the right wing, then we're going to have Savio left or Doku left. I actually prefer to have Doku right though, and here is my reason, yeah? What Doku does so well is, he gets into the box, he cuts the ball back to the near post. And you have no near post runners. I've talked about that before on the channel, right? Well, when Doku plays on the right, he can cut the ball back to the near post, but he can also cross the ball to the far post. So you suddenly give him, so he's suddenly capable of doing more. Okay, he can't cut inside and shoot anymore. I don't care. His shooting is shit. He shoots 20 times a season. He scores once. Like, I don't care. Don't let him shoot, in fact. Don't let him shoot. Make him cut inside, pass the ball, or cross it. Let him do those two things. Make sure someone runs to the to the near post, while Haaland goes to the far post, and get someone to be in the penalty box as well, near the penalty spot, right? So that we can cut the ball back to them as well. My idea basically is, get further up the pitch, more running. Now, more running also means you're gonna need players who can run. Grealish, he's got an engine on him. De Bruyne, not so much. Foden, he's got a bit of an engine on him, I suppose, but it depends on where you play him. So, the problem is, we're not flooding the box right now, because we don't have fast players who can go from one box to another at the moment. Again, De Bruyne, he's not gonna do that. You're not gonna get it from De Bruyne. You can get it from Grealish. But let's say Grealish goes to the near post. Okay, who's gonna run to the far post? Okay, Haaland. Okay, who's gonna run to the penalty step? No one. So okay, you can have Haaland at the penalty spot, and then you can have a far post runner. But who is tall, physical, and clinical enough to run to the far post and get a goal? Nunez? Not really. And he's playing as left back anyways. So that's a bit of the problem, right? But still, I think we should be able to at least make ourselves a bit more attacking. I feel like... You know what the problem is? We aren't as bad defensively as people think. We can't get a 2-goal lead. If we have a 2-goal lead, we pass the ball, we're comfortable, we kill the game off, and we don't lose it. We don't concede that goal. If we concede that goal, okay, it's only one goal. We're not chasing the game anymore. Keep calm. How the attacking improves, that means we're more comfortable throughout the games. We're gonna concede less. Pep Guardiola actually has a quote about this. Pep Guardiola has a quote: if your defense is poor, look at your attack. I'm paraphrasing, it's not the exact quote, but he has a quote on that, yeah? So, leading up to January, tweak around a bit with the system. Hopefully play less of a high line if possible. Try to get a more comfortable lead here against these last 3 games, which are hopefully all 3 wins. Then January window. That's a really big defining part for me this season, or for the remainder of this season, should I say. There are rumors we're going to sign 4 players. Liam Delap has a boy back clause. Zubimendi and Bruno Guimaraes are both rumored. Get those 3 players in. I'm already happy. Let's talk about Liam Delap, by the way, first of all. A lot of people say Liam Delap won't be held, or no striker will be happy to hold the bench to Haaland. Liam Delap will be, because he likes Man City. He was here as a he was a Man City player in the academy, but still a player. So he likes Man City. He'll get a lot of money. He'll potentially win a trophy at the end of the season. And he'll get decent minutes because Haaland's stamina is poor. Haaland genuinely needs to get rested every 5 games. And he needs to get substituted off whenever the rate's 3-0 up. Unless he's like on a brace, then let him go on until he gets a hat-trick. But this guy needs to get a lot more rest, Haaland. So I think you're gonna make Liam Delap happy if you get him in, allow him to play a lot of minutes, allow Haaland to rest a bit more. It's gonna make Haaland better as well. It's gonna make Haaland more clinical, more rejuvenated and all of that. It's basically gonna give us the Haaland that we had at the start of the season for the entire season. Which, now, how many goals did he score in 5 games? 10? So if you can hold that for the entire season, I mean, he won't score 10 goals every 5 games, but if you can have anywhere near that, that is 38 goals a season. Let's say he plays 32 games. That's 38 goals. Plus the assists. I'm just saying. And he's not getting assists right now because the team is poor around him. Oscar Bob comes back from injury. That's suddenly someone who can finish. De Bruyne is back now, kind of fit. Grealish in midfield. He might pick up some loose balls from Haaland. Suddenly Haaland is going to get more assists as well in that team. And Savio scored his first, by the way. I think he's off running, but he still has to score his first 10 minutes. So, I think Bruno Guimaraes and Zubimendi, they are for me the biggest objectives. Get those 2, I'm very happy. Liam Delap is the second biggest. Then a centre back, right back. I don't want just centre back. I want Lucas Klosterman. Leipzig player, has won trophies, is experienced, still under 30, he's 27 or 28. He's experienced in high lines, he's decent on the ball. Not great, but he's decent on the ball. He can do a job. He can do a job as centre back, as right back. He fixes a lot of depth issues for us. I would take him. I would take Lucas Klosterman. We get those 4 signings in here. I am feeling very optimistic about our chances of winning the Champions League. Because I'm going to look at this team and I'm going to say, right, we've got everyone fit, we've got our midfielders, we've got an actual midfield now. We have had a bad period here in the season. We're not going to win the league title. But we can throw all our eggs at that Champions League, at that FA Cup. With preference on the Champions League, of course. Let's see how far we can get. If we get to a final, I think we win it. I don't see Real Madrid at its peak powers right now. I don't see anyone really at their peak powers. Barcelona is dropping off. Bayern München, I mean, sorry, Vincent Kompany is very inexperienced. That does come to haunt you in European football. So I don't immediately see any team that I think is like clear favorite for the Champions League. And all the big teams in there, yeah? Liverpool, Bayern München again, Real Madrid, they're all going to be worried about the title race. Man City is going to be calm. Man City is going to be like, yeah, we can bin off this game in the league. Let's win our Champions League game. Man City can do that. Talking about Champions League, by the way, Man City only needs 1 more win to get to the preliminary phase, or whatever you call it. So, win against PSG or win against Club Brugge, you're through. you're guaranteed through. So by January, again, we'll have those new signings. I think we can do that. Preferably we get the win against PSG though, because here is why, yeah? Game against Chelsea and game against Arsenal. And between that is a game against Club Brugge. So Club Brugge, they like to make things difficult in Europe. They've gotten results at the Bernabeu before, I believe 2019 or 2018. Hans van Aken ran circles around Casemiro, what is his name? What is it? Marcelo and close midfield. No, sorry, not Casemiro. Modric. I'm getting players mixed up, but they know how to make it tough, yeah, for the teams in Europe. They know how to get results out of what Ten had. You don't want to be looking at them to qualify after you played against Chelsea and then having to play against Arsenal, right, at the Emirates. So get to win against PSG, win off the Club Brugge game, focus on those Man City and on those Chelsea and Arsenal games, get those points in the league, get some confidence back. I think if we finish top 4 this season and we have an FA Cup and a Champions League, that is still a good season. That is still a good season. Despite what has gone on throughout the season. Now, do I find that very likely? I'm not sure about the Champions League. I think we should win the FA Cup. I really do. I don't think anyone is going to be able to put the same amount of... Like, anyone of our level is going to be able to put the same amount of time into the FA Cup. Because, of course, Liverpool is going to be worried about the Champions League and Premier League before even worrying about the FA Cup. Man City doesn't have to care about the Premier League. Man City, if we get a good draw in Champions League, we can throw our Champions League game away. We can just defend to a draw, then go win at the Etihad, whilst winning our game in the FA Cup. Tactically, how I would set up with the signings I've proposed already, so Klosterman, Zubimendi, Bruno Guimaraes and Liam Delap. I would have a starting 11 here of Savio on the left, Doku on the right. I would have Grealish, De Bruyne, and what is his name? Zubimendi in midfield, with Bruno Guimaraes coming on for Grealish, or we could do that. I've got a better idea. So Savio left, Haaland up top, and on the right we have Doku. Again, that's Doku cross in. Savio is better on the left than on the right anyway. Haaland, it's Haaland. We have Grealish in the 10. Substitute Grealish off after 60 minutes. Bring on De Bruyne. Rested De Bruyne for 30 minutes if we need a goal. Play Foden or Bruno Guimaraes. Of course, they're going to need time to get into the team, right? Play Kovacic or Zubimendi. Again, they're going to need time to get used to the team, to the tactics. Voila. You've got yourself a good midfield there. I think you've got yourself a really good midfield even. Left back, Matheus Nunes. He didn't make any blunders, by the way, until he got into that right back slot. So keep him on left back. Let him play as left back the way he did against Man United. Centre back pairing, Gvardiol and Diaz, I think is inarguable. And then Klosterman on the right. You can have Kyle Walker play 30 minutes, because he was on injury, by the way, for the last month, so maybe he'll be better now. We pray to God, we don't know too. So maybe play Kyle Walker or Rico Lewis on the right. You can have Klosterman, rest one of our centre backs whenever we need to, right? Then we have the situation with Ederson or Ortega. Who do you prefer? Ederson or Ortega? Do tell who you prefer between Ederson and Ortega, because I honestly don't think it matters that much. I think they both bring as much to the team, but in different ways. Ortega brings better shot stopping, he brings more count, whereas Ederson brings more action, he brings more proactivity, he brings more distribution. So tell me what you prefer. I don't really care who's goalkeeper, I'm gonna be honest. I think both are fine. Goalkeepers are not the issue this season, I think. So With that lineup, yeah, for the starting lineup, I think we're cooking. Then we have a good bench as well. We're gonna have Foden off the bench. We're gonna have Foden play a few less important games, I suppose, as well. We can have Foden on the right. We can have Foden in midfield, depending on what we need. We can have Bernardo Silva on the right as a substitute to rest Doku. We can bring on Grealish. Let's say Grealish doesn't play. Let's say it's like Foden. Let's say Foden, Guimaraes, Kovacic. And then you bring on Grealish. You bring on Liam Delap. You bring on Zubimendi. I think we just look a lot better once we've got those signings. Again, starting 11 that I said earlier would be my starting 11. I think we can still salvage this season. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm not saying it's guaranteed. But I think it's what we have to do now. There are no more excuses. This is what we have to do. We have to salvage this season, one way or another. And if we don't, then questions have to be asked about everyone. Everyone at the club. And when I say everyone, I mean literally everyone. At least the guys that have anything. Not the janitor. Leave the janitor alone. He's got nothing to do with the football. But you get the point, right? Everyone who does anything related to the football of the club has to come in question. That includes Pep Guardiola. Stop defending him, please. Please, please. He's done so much wrong this season. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Helps the channel out a ton. I'm trying to get to 500 by the end of the year. So by 2025. It's a bit tight, I can't lie, but we're very close. So please do subscribe if you haven't already. Helps the channel out a ton, as I said it before. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.